The following opinions are solely those of BoatTEST.com and its test captain.
Hi, I'm Eric Colby for BoatTEST.com. Today we're going to be conducting a full inspection and performance evaluation on the new Q44 from Tiara Yachts. So let's take her out.
The Q44 measures 45 feet 6 inches long with a beam of 14 feet 11 inches and a draft of 3 feet 9 inches. Powered by twin 435 horsepower Volvo Penta IPS diesels with pod drives turning T3 props through a 1.82 to 1 gear ratio, we reached a top speed of 37 miles per hour at 3,600 RPM. At wide open, the motors burned 44 gallons per hour, giving the boat a range of 265 miles. Her best economy seemed to be at 3,100 RPM, where she ran 28.7 miles per hour and burned 31.6 gallons per hour, which increased range to 286 miles with a 10% fuel reserve. In acceleration tests, the Q44 planed in 7.9 seconds. She reached 20 miles an hour in 7.5 seconds and continued to 30 miles an hour in 15.5 seconds. Bow rise was minimal on takeoff, and our test captain could always see what was ahead. The Q44 has an agile feel on the water, turning smoothly to port and starboard. Note that our test captain's hands aren't on the wheel. He's driving the boat with the Volvo joystick, which is quite comfortable for a long-distance cruise. We tested the boat on Lake Michigan in 2-foot to 3-foot seas, and the Q44 lived up to her blue water heritage. The deep V design with an 18-degree dead rise at the transom took the seas well, and when we hit some bigger waves, our captain lowered the Lenco trim tabs a few degrees to keep more hull in the water while continuing to make good headway. When the time comes to return home, captains who prefer to take a traditional approach can stand up and use the steering wheel and controls to bring the Q44 into her slip. But it's tough to find an easier way to dock than the joystick that lets anyone back in like a pro. With the performance covered, let's take a look at the Q44's helm and some of her systems. The helm seat is a true two-person bench, and just ahead are multi-position footrests. The dash features Volvo Penta's glass cockpit with 2 Garmin multi-function screens, and up top is a compass. We like that the dash is capped with an upholstered eyebrow and finished in dark colors to help reduce glare. Just below the screens, working left to right, are the engine start buttons, accessory switches, and a 12-volt plug. The buttons and indicator for the trim tabs are in a convenient location just ahead of the shift and throttle controls, and the steering wheel tilts. For driver comfort, the joystick is forward of a padded armrest, and the controls for the electronic screens are recessed in a smart design. This allows for complete control of the screens without having to get up from the seat. We would, however, like to see some labels pointing to the switches for the power seat and sliding door that are outboard of the armrest. Above the co-pilot's and driver's seats are small window-style hatches that open and have sliding screens and shades. Some enclosed helm boats have visibility issues, but the Q44 has clear sightlines from bow to stern. And notice the large, heavy-duty windshield wipers. Now let's check out the engine compartment. The hatch is forward of the island galley, and there's a ladder to port. Sea strainers are easily accessed on top of the motors, and the dual fuel filters are located directly in front of the ladder. Between the engines beneath the great style flooring are the batteries. Directly aft is the 9 kilowatt Onan generator, and note how easy it is to get to the sea strainer below. On the forward engine room bulkhead, the battery charger, fuel water separators, and electrical distribution panel are positioned to facilitate routine maintenance. Outboard to port is the shore power cord retractor, and the water heater is to starboard. Note that the hot and cold water hoses are color-coded red and blue. Directly outboard of the port and starboard power doors are the fuel fills and pump outs. Throughout the boat, Tiara equips the Q44 with heavy-duty stainless steel hardware, and there are removable inspection panels that permit access for maintenance. The Q44 is a smooth-running boat that is comfortable to drive from a standing or seated position. She comes well-equipped, and that equipment is properly installed and positioned to make the boat easy to maintain.
And that wraps up our evaluation of the Q44 from Tiara Yachts. For BoatTEST.com, I'm Eric Colby.